Hi class, my name is Tammy Tucker and I am here today to demonstrate how to use the Google Calendar. The Google Calendar goes through gmail.com. If you don't have a Gmail email address, you will need one in order to access the Google Calendar. An important information to know is that the Google Calendar is actually set up through your MyDTCC email. If you just log into your MyDTCC, go to your email, the button above the email messages, you will see one that says calendar. A lot of people do not know that it's there to use, and it is. So take advantage of it, test it out, see if you like it, see if it will work for you. You can access the Google Calendar on any device, iPad, laptop, home computer, iPhone, as long as you have the internet. Android users do have an easier way to view it. iPhone, there's a step process that you have to go through in order to view it the best way possible. You can use this Gmail for personal reasons, work reasons, to just combine a whole family schedule or friend schedule. You can share this Google Calendar with other people and they can type in their information as well, and you can link them together so everyone knows what everyone is up to and when you can make it, like if you're in a family, when you can make appointments next. I think that it's very user-friendly. We've been using it at my job for a few years now and there have not been any issues. The one issue that I think that we do have that comes up the most often is that individuals won't they'll type something into a calendar, but it's their personal calendar, not the work calendar. Because the thing about Gmail is it gives you access. You could have 20 calendars if you wanted. So you just have to be careful that you are putting it into the correct calendar and it is showing up. Kind of have to double check to make sure until you're really good at using it. And they do use a color-coded way to view this. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to see is not my face. You're going to see the computer screen where I'm going to try to demonstrate the different benefits of the Google Calendar and how to access it. I'm going to show you how to select a calendar for viewing, how to add events to a calendar, how to delete events, and how to share a calendar. So I hope this helps and I hope it's useful and that you can also use Google Calendar more often than you ever have before. Or if someone asks you or expects you to use it, you'll know how to. Okay, here it goes. You are now looking at a Google Calendar. And please bear with me, as I know this isn't the most technologically savvy way to do this presentation, but it's the best way that I personally know how to do it. I've been struggling with that for a few days, but here goes nothing. So, what you're looking at now is the Google Calendar. On the left-hand side, you will see the Delaware Tech logo. That shows you that I am in our personal Gmail like I talked to you before. If you click here, under our email, there's a little calendar button. Go ahead and click that, and it will pop up this Google Calendar. Now, it will open it in what is called the default of week. I personally don't like to view my calendar under week. It's a personal preference. I would rather view it under month. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. Now, if you want to set up your settings, you can do that over here. And what that can do is you can do your time zone, you can do how you want your week to start, if you wanted it to start on a Sunday or a Monday. Sometimes in my personal calendars, my preference is to start my week on a Monday, so I see my weekends at the end. You can default the view like we talked about just a minute ago to month, which would be great, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there's so many other things here under settings, and it's just up to the person, how you want everything set up so it's easiest for you to view and understand what you're looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my calendar. Okay, I didn't save it, so I'm going to go click on month. Okay, now what I want to show you first while we're viewing this calendar is this mini calendar right here. A lot of people like to use this to look ahead at different dates. We can go ahead and click that and go to April, May really quick just to see what day of the week different dates fall on so that you can schedule your life around that. Under this, you'll see my calendars. I've got mine that's set up under my name, birthdays, staff calendar, which is my work one, and holidays, and even the Owens campus calendar is here for you to view. Okay, now to view your calendars, do you see that drop-down box? Now when I move away from it, you don't see it. And this is hard for a lot of people because they're like, how did I get there before? And it can be very frustrating. It's one of those, what I like to call a ghost thing. You know, you kind of have to hover and it will show up, unfortunately. It's not, that one's stagnant, but this one is not. So once you hover, you can click display only this calendar. So I'm just looking at mine. Let's click on two. Okay, I'm going to do my staff calendar and I'm going to do mine at the same time. So there's lots of stuff on there. But let's say I only want to see my staff calendar. Then I'll click here and say display only this calendar. Okay, I'm going to go back to my name, display only this calendar. Okay, so there's a lot less on this one. I don't really use this one for personal reasons. We use something different. I'm just too afraid personally to have my things linked with my work things. I like to keep personal and work separate at this time. Okay. Now, through this drop-down box, you can change the color to each calendar. So whatever your favorite color is or whatever would stand out to you to make it more easy to find and know that you're clicking on the right calendar to set your information on it. You can also up here do the same thing we did with this mini calendar, but through the whole calendar and go to April, May, June. Okay, we can click on today and it'll take us right back to where we started. So as you play with it, you will see that it is friendly. It is fun to use. There's lots of interesting things. You can do an agenda. What I read about that is it just kind of shows things that are set up, and this is set up, some of my things are set up as repeats to do different things throughout my job. Okay, let me go back to month. Okay, what I'd like to show you next is how to add events to a calendar. Now, there are a couple different ways. As you saw through this Dropbox, you can click here, create event on this calendar, and that will open up this. Now, personally, I don't like to explain how to create an event this way. I just don't personally like it. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to create an event for tomorrow. So how I like to explain it to people is I will click on tomorrow and I'll have this Dropbox come up. And I'm going to type in that I'm going to have a doctor's appointment at 5 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 5 p.m. doctor, and I'm going to hit enter. There it is. You see it there for your view, 5 p.m. doctor. Okay. Well, what if you want to say more about that? What if you don't, it's a new doctor, and you want to type in the address, and that way it's easy when you get in your car, you go right to your Google Calendar, and you have the address, you can type in your GPS. So go ahead, click there, edit event, and this is where you can enter a location. So you can enter the address of where you're going, a description of the doctor and why you're seeing them, if there's a copay, whatever you would desire, and then you would save it there. Now, let's say you need to delete this. You're not going to go, you had to change the appointment, something came up. You just simply click on it and hit delete, and it's gone. It's you can undo it here, but it's pretty much gone, and that's pretty easy. How to share a calendar. Again, with this drop-down box, click on that, send to a friend, or share this calendar. Go ahead and click that open, make this calendar public. You might want to learn more. You want specific information there. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. Maybe you don't want everyone knowing what it is, but you want to just share it with a certain person. I have done this before, enter their email address, and there are limits on this. They can make changes and manage sharing. They can just see things. It's up to you what you want to share. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the calendar. So I find this very handy, the calendar. Multiple calendars can be made, and you can share it and post with other people. And I haven't had any issues. I've used it for a few years now, and I find it very handy and helpful. So I hope this helped you understand the Google Calendar a little bit more, and you'll step out of the box and try it if you haven't. And if you have tried it and enjoyed it, you understand where I'm coming from, that it is user-friendly, and it can be very useful, especially if you have a large family or a lot of things on your plate to do. Thank you so much for listening and viewing my demonstration presentation. I appreciate your time. Have a great evening. Thank you.